The rising tides, IJAMA. It was evening. The sun was sinking behind the sea when the fishermen began preparing their nets. My father, tall and broad, walked quietly, his fingers moving fast as he fixed the broken ropes. I stood behind the small house watching them. His boat was already in the water, rocking gently, but something was wrong. The sea didn't feel right. The waves were higher than normal, and the wind seemed louder. I had seen the waves grow over the years. Slowly, little by little, the tides had gotten worse. But that was something we never talked about. If we did, it would mean we were all afraid. "Ijma, go inside," my mother called from the fire. She didn't want me to watch. She never wanted us to see the men leave. But I stayed there, watching my father's face. He didn't look like he wanted to go, but he had no choice. The sea needed its fish. The families needed to eat. I swallowed hard and went inside. Our house is not far from Down Beach. Inside, the fire crackled, and the smoke kept rising to the band of fish my mother was preparing to sell at the new town market the next day. My younger brother Ebai was playing by the flame, pretending the shadows were animals. My mother stared at the band of fish, her face tired. She hummed a song, but I could see her worry in the way she walked. She didn't speak much, but we both knew the same thing. The tides were getting too high, and I was afraid for your father. I feel something is not just right. I feel like nature is about to take someone we love. As I stared at my mother's worried face, I heard a loud cry from outside. The villagers were running towards our house. My mom and I jumped out of the kitchen. "What is it? Why the wailing?" Before Mr. Oban, one of the village elders, could even open his mouth to speak, my mom was already rolling on the floor. "The worst has happened to us. The waters have done us bad. Our fathers, our husbands have been swallowed up by the waters. Calamity has visited our land. Our hearts are heavy." As I heard my father's name mentioned alongside the list of the missing fishermen, my mother's anguished scream pierced the air, shattering the silence and sending a chill down my spine. As I struggled to come to terms with the devastating news, my brother's small hands grasped mine, his innocent eyes searching for reassurance as he asked, "Where's Papa?" Looking up at me, his innocent eyes made my chest hot. "He's gone fishing, Ibai. He will be back soon." I lied. I didn't want him to know the truth. In what felt like an instant, our small kitchen was overflowing with neighbors and family friends, their voices rising in a cacophony of wails and mournful cries, each one a heartbreaking expression of grief and sorrows. The smell of fish as stew filled the room, but I couldn't eat. I couldn't stop thinking about the sea. The last time my uncle went out, he didn't come back. The waves had swallowed him whole. And today, my father. The storm had passed by morning, but the sea was still wild. My mother took me by the hand, and we went down to the shore. The other families were already there, standing in the sand, staring at the water. There was no sign of the boats, no sign of the men. We waited, but the sea didn't give us anything. No bodies, no boats, nothing. The sea had taken them. It wasn't until the afternoon that the fishermen's boats were found, torn apart, washed up along the shore, broken pieces scattered everywhere. My father's boat was among them, but there was no sign of him, no sign of the others either. A few days later, we were called to the chief's palace. The head of the Ministry of Environment was there. His face was serious as he spoke to us. "I'm very sorry for your loss," he said to my mother and the other villagers. "The rising tides, the stronger storms, it's because of climate change. The seas have been rising for years, and now the tides are too dangerous for fishing. The weather patterns have changed." I didn't understand most of what he said, but I understood the look on my mother's face. She nodded, but her eyes were empty. She didn't care about what climate change meant. She only cared about my father, and he was gone. "We will do everything we can to help," he added, but his words didn't bring my father back. I stared at the phone's palace walls. It all felt so distant, so far away. The sea had taken my father and no one could fix that. The world kept changing, but we couldn't change what had already happened. The chief's man left, but my mother stayed silent. There was nothing anyone could do.